Tell me about Airbnb, man. You've been doing that on top of your job. Yeah, like most people would want to do these days. Most of our audience are thinking about Airbnb or rentals. Like, what are the things you would have avoided knowing what you know now?
Oh, geez. Well, I will say my path to Airbnb started in like 2021, 2022 when I got my property. Still had low rates, so at that time, it actually still made sense. I would say it was like at the tail end of when it made sense to get an Airbnb. And lived in the house, fixed it up, got an Airbnb ready. And there's like a couple of things I learned. No pets. Like you would think like, hey, I can allow people to bring in pets because it'll have, you'll have more tenants or more bookings, which is great, but you turn around and pay that in wear and tear, or things that you need to fix. So I would say no pets, no one nights, because if you have one nights, people are going to come and book and they're going to throw parties. So had like a wild party thrown at my house, watching it on the cameras. I'm just like, what do I do? Like literally watching it on the camera, like seeing all these kids come to my house and party and just like, oh geez. Like,
wait, so one night like automatically means a party pretty much?
The chances of it being a party are pretty high. It doesn't necessarily mean that, but the chances are a lot higher. So
you just avoid it altogether?
I would avoid it. Maybe in the beginning you have to do it to build up your reviews and whatnot, but after you have like honestly 10 reviews, I would just move past the pets and the one nights. And I spent like so much on a lot of little details, like getting really nice soap dispensers. Pass on that. Just get easy replaceable ones. Because all that stuff ends up breaking or, doesn't work. So
yeah,
I would say those are pretty three quick tips.
Like plastic bounces.
Yeah, literally. So
yeah, it makes sense. So like, what was the strategy going into it? Because like the average person watching this probably doesn't own a home, or doesn't have a massive amount of income where they can dedicate towards a second or third house. But like, if you're to start humble, which I believe you did, where you didn't have a whole lot to kind of go for, but you had to live in the first one, rent it out as you lived there, all the good stuff. Like, did you kind of have a strategy in place beforehand that you kind of followed to get to that? Or did you?
Yeah. So to acquire I guess both my properties was really, I think, a path that anyone can take with enough discipline. So when I was living in California, I told myself I'm going to pay off my car. I was fortunate enough to be able to live at home. So the main thing is just minimize as much debt as you can. So I was like, okay, pay off my car, get rid of the car note, then just try to save. At that point it was 2021 and I was like, let's just try to save like 30 to 40K. So I said, here's what I'm making. I was in sales, I was a BDR. And I drew like a little chart that had like 5 or 10K increments up to 50. And I would just fill it out every paycheck, just like allocate money to a savings account, fill it out. And slowly I started to build that. As soon as I hit my goal, which was like 30 or 40K, I think it was 30K. I was like, I'm moving to Arizona because I want to buy a house. It wouldn't have been feasible to buy a house in California, at least not the desirable areas.
Yeah.
So I came out here. I had reached out to a realtor before I came out, told him my plan. And I was like, as soon as I get there, let's start looking. I have the down payment, everything, whatever. And we did that. And at that point, interest rates were 3%. So the lowest that they've ever been, really. So I moved forward. We found a property. I put an offer out. It was actually the first offer I put out. I was incredibly lucky. Wrote a little letter and the guy, enjoyed the letter and gave me the house.
Yeah.
And that was step one. So then what that allowed me to do was to live in that house, get roommates, what people refer to as house hacking, and substantially lower my cost of living because now my tenants were paying most of my cost of living, right? Like my mortgage, they were paying for it. I was probably just paying like utilities or whatever it is.
Your $600 a month of SRP.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that house doesn't have a pool, so it's not quite as high. Still high.
Yeah,
but
only in the summertime, right?
Yeah. So, no, literally summertime, my house at the pool, it gets up to 600.
Jeez.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's like that every year for everyone who lives not in Arizona. Don't move here.
Yeah. The electricity bill is literally 600 during the peak
Crazy.
heat season.
That comes from the pool mostly for like cooling it down or what?
Yeah. Well, honestly, I think it's just running the AC more than anything.
Yeah.
Because of the pump for the pool, it's ran overnight. And that's when over here our rates are super nuanced and they charge you a lot less overnight during
non-peak hours.
Yeah, exactly. Non-peak hours.
Yeah. It's all because the data companies, the data warehouses aren't paying their electrical bills. You know that? They just pay like a flat fee. These massive data warehouses that have AC inside their 4th billion servers that they got to cool down. They just pay like a flat fee and then it messes with everyone else.
I'm not surprised. Yeah, I'm not surprised. But so I had that house, and then immediately after I got that first one, I was like, okay, instead of going out and having fun, this is where the discipline comes in. Mm-hmm. I was like, okay, now right now my cost of living is low. Let me now make a new goal. At that time, I had gotten promoted or got a new job, fully remote. So now closing deals. I worked in sales, software sales. And so I was like, okay, I have this new job. I'm making more money. I have low expenses. Let me continue on this path and let me just make another goal, make another chart, set a goal, hit that. And I was like, okay, then I was at mid 2022. So after I got my first house, relaxed for a couple months. And then for the next year, I was like back to saving and building a nest egg. Then from there, I took that nest egg, rolled it into that second property I have. And I kind of did a similar thing. I lived in it. I renovated it. There's nothing in the backyard. Put in turf, put in pavers, put in all that good stuff.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Looks clean.
Josh saw it when there was absolutely nothing. Like it was bad.
I think I might have seen it.
You may have, yeah.
Like when it was probably in the process of it. Like right before you got the pool resurfaced.
Yeah. And the intention the entire time was like, I want to fix this up, enjoy it a little bit because it had a pool and it was just a nice location.
Yeah.
And then put it up on Airbnb. So I did that. And honestly, my initial thoughts was like, oh, this Airbnb is going to be like life changing, right? Like people on social media make it seem like, oh, I'm making a killing on Airbnb lucrative. And this and that. And the reality is like, it'll give you some extra money, some extra change, but it's not going to change your life. You're not going to be able to quit your job. If you want to do that, you got to acquire a ton of properties. And I only learned that through going through the process of going into real estate, buying my first property, buying my second property, seeing what the actual profit is. And now rates are so high. It's who knows where you got to buy to actually make a profit on Airbnb.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was kind of my journey in real estate, how I got the Airbnb. Right now it's running smoothly. It makes some extra cash, but I just leave it in there. You know, if anything breaks or fixes, like it'll cover it. Yeah. And I don't, again, like it's not enough for it to change my life. So I just leave it in that account for that house.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a great learning lesson. Now I know that I would much rather take these nest eggs of money and invest it into buying an existing business or starting a business. So that's what I'm striving for next.
So you're just abandoning real estate as a whole?
I'll come back to it, but for now, I think the opportunity is in buying an established business to generate more cash flow that can actually potentially alleviate you from your job.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense because it's like the quantifiable numbers from a real estate asset versus a business asset are just astronomically different.
Yeah. Yeah. Real estate's a long-term play.
Yeah.
Like, you cash flow a little bit, but it's more of a long-term play.
Yeah, it's fixed. It's like a fixed income. It's like the max you could make is whatever the rent payment is. Yeah. And minus your mortgage, depending on when you pay that off.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm glad I did it because worst case scenario, I have those two houses. Like I don't intend on selling them. So like, keep them. And in 30 years, I'll be paid off. You know, I can live in one if I want. The other one will then at that point give me more cash.
Yeah.
So
you have to deal with the nightmare of tenants in the meantime.
Yeah. I mean, that I would say is one of the key things of getting good at real estate is knowing how to advertise for the right tenants.
Yeah.
Without breaking any rules, and like still being fair to everyone, or not discriminating, and also like qualifying them appropriately.
Yeah. What does that look like? Is there kind of a rigorous process or hoops you got to jump through, or is it just posting the right places, interviewing people beforehand, etc.?
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to skip the steps. You want to interview people. You want to, check their bank statements. You want to check their W-2s if they have them. You want to actually check references that they have. Some people, like, they don't want to go through that. They're like, oh yeah, you seem good enough. And like 4 months in, they're like, hey, I can't pay rent. And it's like, well, dude, if you did all these things, you could have avoided those mistakes,
Yeah.
So I would say like, those are some things. Set a credit limit of like, hey, here's a minimum credit requirement. And those things, make it known that you're going to do a background check. If you do like all those 4 or 5 things I just listed more or less, it's going to deter people who would have a higher likelihood of being not the best tenants.
Yeah. So you just add a ridiculous amount of friction for the form that they have to fill out to where
or even just putting in the advertising is going to deter people because they're just like, oh dang, I don't have that. I'm not even going to apply.
Yeah.
So.
But do you feel like you get like way less people that apply because of it, or how do you balance the two?
I think even taking one step back from that, when you purchase a property, location is everything.
Yeah.
So I have a location that's 10 minutes from ASU and like 15 minutes from Old Town. It's like very, very central. So because of the location, there's like not an issue getting tenants. And then my other one is like 5-7 minutes up down the road or up the road from downtown Gilbert, which is pretty desirable. There's like a Sprouts and whatever around that area.
Yeah, Sprouts.
All the good stuff. I love Sprouts.
First thing came to mind.
Honestly,
raw milk.
my old criterion, I was looking for houses. I was like, is there a Chick-fil-A, a Cane's, and a Sprouts someone nearby?
Bro, Chick-fil-A or Cane's sauce, bro, is crack cocaine.
Yeah. I have beef with Cane's. Beef, get it, chicken, whatever.
It's like a lad.
Yeah, I know.
You're not Theo Vaughn, bro. You're not that guy.
I wish. Because then I could just do this all day instead of work. But
but you had to do all the crazy stuff he did, like,
That's true. You gotta have the experience to be able to talk about it endlessly.
Just have random stories.
Yeah,
like his taxi and prostitute one.
I don't think I have any quite like that.
Hey, you can still live out that life, and then you can come find us.
I think those days are probably past me. If I was gonna do those, maybe while I was in college or before college or something like that.
It sounds like Theo's still doing it, so yeah.
Hey, to each their own.
Okay. Anyways, Sprouts, Airbnb location.
But yeah, I mean, back to the primary point is you won't have an issue even if you set all those, let's call it barriers to entry.
Yeah.
If you have your properties are located in good locations.
Yeah.
So you want to look at the neighborhood, like if there's big grocery stores around, schools around, nice gyms around. I would say those are going to attract the right folks. Also, when I advertise, like I advertised, for example, one of our good friends, Josh, was one of my roommates in that house that had the pool. And what I advertised was like, okay, there's a gym nearby. Here's a place that is nearby to nice restaurants, nightlife, whatever it is, things that we're going to attract a young professional.
Yeah. I
also said, hey, here's kind of what my lifestyle is. I enjoy regular exercising. I'm into business, into this, that. So, birds of a feather flock together.
Yeah.
Right? So
how come you got a guy that's losing hair and one that's bald?
Who's that? I got hair, so I'm definitely not the bald one. At least not yet.
Saying birds of a feather flock together. I'm just saying both your tenants.
Yeah, we did have.
You had a total bald guy.
Yeah, for the audience, 2 of us had hair and one was bald.
That guy's losing his hair though. So.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, you gotta send him to Turkey.
No, it's Taiwan now. So.
Oh, is that the place?
Yeah, pull that up. Turkey will never financially recover from this because they just had this life-altering scientific breakthrough where they like in double the amount of time can grow hair back, and they just got done with their trial tests from mice, and the hair grew back like 4 times faster than any other clinical like. And they're
studies. Doing hair transplants, or is it?
No, it's
sort of chemical. You just
it's like a chemical you add to your hair, and then from there the hair will grow back. So it's like dudes that have been bald their entire life will have like hair growth, and like it's from clinical studies, but
we gotta send our bald friend out there.
He's on his own journey right now. I don't think he ever wants to grow hair back. So, but it's the joke right now is that Turkey's never going to financially recover.
That's what they're known for, right? Hair transplant.
That and teeth. Big teeth. Yeah. Okay. Just any implant.
Yeah. Anytime I hear people talk about Turkey, it's primarily for hair transplants.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like the joke on all the airlines. You just see like 12 dudes inside of the seats, all with like.
Well, I think. Do you know anyone who's gone to Turkey to do it? I know one person that actually has gone.
I've known someone from like breast implants, but never for.
Okay, they told me hair. It was like very economical.
Yeah,
and like the whole experience was nice. Like the airline knows, like there's a van that like the whole thing. They wine and dine you.
It's like a resort.
Yeah, no, literally, you go like you stay at a resort like. So
that's crazy. Yeah. I mean, there it is right there. That's what I just saw. Yeah. They developed a new serum that regrows hair in just 20 days, successfully tested on mice. There it is. Turkey's economy will never recover from this.
Dang.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
Big Pharma you're going to see Big Pharma come in and buy that, commercialize it.
Buy it and then somehow lose all the tests, just forget how it works.
Yeah.
So with the path from the first Airbnb, well, the first rental, house, right, to then Airbnb, you mentioned that you went from making less money to making more money at your job, which is what kind of opened the door for that. I think a vast majority of our clients are also in the bucket where they're like, I want to do real estate or I want to start a business, but I just don't make enough money, like your typical, classic Americans that, have a kid or two and they, have your life where it feels kind of restricted. Like life isn't really giving up much opportunity because they're not making it much. Like, how did you in your world go from like middle or like lower class to middle class? You started making 6 figures. Yeah. Like what things did you do in order to create that possibility in your life?
Yeah. For background on myself, I'm the oldest of 3. I'm the first to go to college, first gen. My parents were immigrants, came over here, now citizens, have their green cards, all that good stuff. But yeah, there was no real like playbook on life or like a brother I could follow.
Yeah.
And I think everyone, you gotta use the cards you're dealt to the best you can. And that's what I did. What that meant for me was, I don't have kids now. I want kids, but I didn't have kids at a young age. Some people have kids when they're 20s. I didn't. That obviously helped me get ahead, not having like the investment you need to make in your kids, or is that the proper way to phrase it? Investment, or just, taking care of your family.
Yeah.
I just needed to take care of myself. So I think that living frugally. And when a lot of people say, I don't make a lot of money and I can't do this, the money's not there. One, I would challenge them to go into their finances and actually make sure that is true. A lot of times people just say that like, I feel this way. Mm-hmm. I feel this way, that way. But what is the actual truth? Have you actually gone in there, budgeted, broke it down, seen like, what are my necessary and unnecessary expenses? And then from there, you can make a plan. And you can get there. It just might take you longer. You don't need to be the first person that gets there as long as you get to the destination.
Right.
Thief is a comparison of joy. So it does, like I said, it doesn't matter when you get there as long as you get there. So for me, I was able to save within, a year and a half because my circumstance was I lived at home and I paid off my car. And after that, I didn't have much debt. I had a little bit of school loans and I paid those off. So that really helped me get ahead. Not everyone has those cards. Some people have better cards, some people have worse.
Yeah.
But I would encourage you, if you don't feel like you're in that position or like the money's not there, is go in there and see where the money is going, then make a plan. Literally go into ChatGPT, talk to your chat, say, hey, here's everything I spend. Where can I cut back? Here's what I want to do. How much money can I put away from my paychecks based on this table and these expenses I put in there every paycheck? Then just follow that plan. It may take you 1 year, it may take you 2 years, it may take you 3 years, but you will get there.
Yeah.
And that's as simple as it is. What's the thing that people say? It's like easy to say, hard to do, something like that.
Yeah. Easier said than done.
Easier said than done. Yeah, there you go. So I would say that applies here, right? It's easy for me to say this, but it's actually hard to do. Requires discipline. You got to say no to people. You got to say no to going out. You got to say no to eating out. Like, I don't want to cook every week, but
yeah,
it's what you have to do.
Yeah. Well, the argument is like, it's like my $5 avocado toast and my $7 coffee. If you add it all up at the end of the year, it's like $1,200.
That's
like,
a good
how is
point.
that really actually going to make a difference? Like, what's your argument towards something like that?
I would agree with them, and I would say it's a combination of two things. One, you have to be smart with your spending, but two, you have to increase your income in some capacity. What I did is, I think what anyone can do, especially now, we're both in tech, and when I got into tech, you needed a degree to get into tech.
Mm-hmm.
Like at one of the companies I worked at, I remember really vividly, like, I don't know if it was a recruiter or someone who worked there. Someone was like, hey, like the senior leaders actually look at where you went to college, and that mattered. Like they really cared about that and what your degree was in.
Yeah.
So I snuck in somehow, some way, just through networking. And I got this, BDR, SDR position, which equates to a business development representative or a sales development representative. And I was cold calling, making 60, 80 cold calls, booking appointments for sales reps, account executives to close. And that was like, I think my first job paid like, dude, my very first one, I think paid $45K.
Yeah, which is a lot. And you're making commission.
Yeah, I mean, in California, it was not a lot. It was not a lot.
$250,000 isn't a lot there, so.
Yeah, exactly. So then I just kind of got better at that skill set.
Yeah.
Ask for promotions. You got to ask for what you want. You got to vocalize what you want.
Yeah, closed mouths don't get fed.
Exactly. And at, those initial companies, the opportunity wasn't there. But I had enough accolades or achievements in those companies to parlay that and reach out to other companies and say, hey, will you take a chance on me? Like, this is what I've done in this role. I now want to close. I feel I'm ready. Will you take a chance?
Yeah.
And I moved into a closing role. So slowly my salary started going up. And obviously with sales, you have the upside of commission. Mm-hmm. So it's twofold. You got to be smart with your spending. You got to have a plan, and you can accelerate the plan by increasing your income.
Yeah.
So make a plan based off your current situation. And in the meantime, look to increase your income to accelerate your plan. So again, all hard to do. It takes hard work. I mean, I didn't want to make freaking 70, 80 cold calls a day. I will never, I had this one cold call where this guy on the phone, he's like, do you know who you're talking to? And I was like, yeah, I was like, you sound pretty upset. And he got more upset. He's like, I just walked out of this meeting, blah, 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 blah. Oh, man. And our calls were recorded. So I remember that call got passed around internally, and I was just getting roasted.
Bro, did you send it to corporate, bro?
I should have. That was when he was just getting started.
Yeah. Dude, there's one that he did, his most famous video is from ZoomInfo.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Dude, this guy says I'm going to Yelp you guys into submission. I'm going to bring in all of my influence and resources to make sure you guys never make a cold call ever again. It's going on, bro.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, pull that call up, Jimmy.
Yeah,
no, dude, that is such a good point. Cause it's like, if you make 30, 40K a year, Like the reality of it is, no matter how much pleasures that you deny in life, you're never going to save up enough money to go buy a house. You have to increase your income. Like,
you have to do it.
That is a must. And if you want to do it as like, and make six figures and a non-traditional like educational role, like a lawyer, doctor, whatever the case is, like you have to do it in usually three facets, which is going to be sales, operations, and marketing. Yeah. Which are all roles that you could find yourself going into without a whole lot of experience. You don't need the college education for it because, like you said, in tech especially, it's
especially now.
Yeah, it's like they've noticed that the experience is so much more valuable than people that with a piece of paper. You know, that's like, hey, okay, well, have you ever closed before? It's like you said, like you approached these guys and said, this is what I've done, this is what I want to do. Like, and you sold yourself on it. Exactly. And like, you have to get out there and put yourself on the market. Otherwise, like, closed mouths don't get fed, like we said earlier. So it's like, I've also heard a little rumor, Birdie told me that you created this massive spreadsheet.
Yeah.
where you had like hundreds of, you know, companies and like industries and ones you were going to go through, talk through that. Cause like, I think there's another thing too, that people are like, oh, I've applied to like 40 jobs. And you're like, let me guess, on Indeed, and you just hit the easy apply on all of them. Yeah, you can't
be doing that. Yeah.
That doesn't mean anything.
You're never going to stand out like that.
And there's offshore people doing the same thing. So you're competing with the world, not just the people in the US in your local area.
Yeah. And talent just gets better over time. Like people are so freaking good now. Like at really anything, like, because the knowledge is so accessible. People are getting really good at leveraging AI across all different industries and roles. Like, you have to be so good now. And if you're just applying like LinkedIn Easy Apply, Indeed, like you're not going to cut through the noise.
Nope.
So here's what I did, or what I've always done, what my process has been. You need to start inward of, okay, what do I want to do? You know, for me, I saw tech sales as an avenue. That's what I was exposed to. So I was like, okay, now I know what industry more or less I want to pursue. One, you need to take a step back and just figure that out. So is it marketing? Is it sales? Is it more operations? What is it? First, determine that. Two, then you really never stop. You always have to be networking within that industry. With other reps, managers, directors, VP of sales. Go on LinkedIn, comment on people's stuff, add them. Like, do this stuff. Like, some people may call it corny, but honestly, it's how I've gotten my opportunities. It's like 90% of the way I've gotten my opportunities, or gotten my foot in the door at least.
Yeah.
So you have to do those two things. And then when you're ready to either apply to jobs or move jobs, you got to be real strategic with it. So you want to assess the marketplace, assess the environment. What is happening in today's world? What is going to give me the best chance of making the most money, somewhere I can be a long time? And then that is your starting point, right? That may not be where you land, but at least you want to go after the very best, where you have the highest earning potential and all of that good stuff.
Yeah.
That being said, that's where the most competition is going to go, right? So it's really hard to get in there and you might not get it, but at least you have a North Star. So one, I did a bunch of research on industries. Hey, what are the top industries right now? Like, a lot of import-export businesses are hurting right now because of tariffs. Cybersecurity is just going through the roof because the internet is just getting bigger and bigger. So that's like a really great industry, or an example of a really great industry.
Yeah.
So you want to look at that, use a spreadsheet or something to track that. Then you want to go look at companies within that industry. And then what you want to do is look at the roles and study the roles. So you can say, okay, here are the roles that are open. What is the success in that role? For sales, are the sales teams at these companies hitting quota? What do the Glassdoor reviews say? What do the Comparably reviews say? Because you want to join a place that is going to develop you. The last thing you want to do is join a place where you're just like hating life.
Yeah. No matter how much money you make.
Exactly. It's not worth it. It's not worth
Especially
it.
Especially if you're constantly looking over your shoulder, like, am I going to get fired, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. Is this in a good industry? Are they having layoffs? Have they recently had layoffs?
Yeah.
You want to look at all of those things from a company-wide level and then within the team that you're looking at. So I would just kind of set these columns and then be able to sort from like best to worst. Obviously you want to put an income in there, whether it's remote or not, kind of set your criteria, but you got to make some sort of table or something to compare all these opportunities. Mm-hmm. So then once you have all your opportunities ranked, then you can start strategically going after your best ones. And you're not just going to apply, reach out to a rep. Hey, can we chat? Like, I'm curious in your company. I just want to know what it's like. I'm happy with my company, but I love what you guys are doing. You know, mention like something specific about the org, and don't take up a bunch of time, right? Because you're not really, there's not a massive benefit to them talking to you.
Yeah.
Aside from maybe like a referral credit or something like that.
Yeah. Which is pretty big in the sales world too. So,
yeah.
Cause like,
but you got to be good because they have no idea who you are if you're actually good, right?
Yeah.
They're not going to stick their neck out on the line for a scrub.
Yeah.
So, I mean, would you?
I've done that before, and definitely bit me in the ass, but I got the referral bonus before they got canned, so it worked out. I'm like, hey, well, they last 3 months. That's my filter I run them through. That's the charcoal and the sand they got to go through.
Yeah. I guess that's fine depending on the size of the company. Where you work at, it's a massive organization. There's like so many people, so it's not going to make that much like on your internal stock, right, at the company.
Yeah.
Versus a smaller org, if you refer someone and they absolutely suck.
Yeah, you're also not getting a fat referral bonus there either.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you want to sort through all that and then just kind of go from there.
Yeah.
Tailor your resume to the opportunity. And if you can like learn their product, come to that first interview with like already a pitch on how you would pitch the product. You just need to stand out.
Yeah.
You know, be like, hey, here's like a short recording on how I would pitch your product. Like, what do you think about this? What are your top objections? Come up with really good questions that would be like, wow, I haven't been asked this question before. Ask the hiring manager, like, what are some things that you wish your reps did that aren't being done right now? And then you can speak to that. Oh, great. Here's an idea I have, or here's how I would approach that. Then it's like, okay, this person brings something new to the table versus just like the typical stuff. So you just really, really have to stand out in how you search for a job and how you apply for a job. That's what's really makes a great professional. Yeah. There's a lot of good people, but if you want to be great, you need to do that on an ongoing, consistent basis.
Yeah. Yeah. Separating yourself from the people pile is so important because that's a John Maxwell statement right there. Cause it's like, it's really cool to be in the people pile because it's like, that's where everyone else is and it's comfortable and it's easy being there, but it's like, that's where everyone is, you know, like you're not going to get singled out while being in there, you know, it's not a Tony Robbins seminar where they're like, you. Yeah. But, that being said, you know, I feel like the majority of people, if you were to ask, hey, where do you work? How do you work there? Like, how did you get that job? You know, where did that came from? You know, 99% of the time they're going to say, oh, Tommy gave me the job or I just fell into it or, you know, whatever the case, like how do you separate yourself from those people that are just like, maybe something great will come around or somebody will notice me at the company I work at right now and I'll get that promotion I've always wanted, you know, because I've dedicated so many years to this. It's like, no, like you have to actually like you'll never fall into a 6-figure job. It does not exist. That's never happened ever. Yeah. No, definitely not. I was going to say something, but I'm going to hold off on that. No, say it, bro. Say it. I'll tell you later. Say it. Say it. If worst case scenario, it doesn't make the cut. I'll say unless you're an OnlyFans girl. Hey, they still didn't fall into that, bro. They had to grind, dude. Legit think about that though. Like, because have you ever hopped on Twitch before? Just like randomly, just to like see what's all about? But I've seen like Twitch people. Yeah. Like, so like we all see PewDiePie. We see all these guys that are like massive, right? But if you ever hop on Twitch, there are homeboys that are at the very bottom of page 3 that have 0 viewers and they're all playing games right now. So OnlyFans is the exact same way. Just because you're an attractive female and you hop on OnlyFans doesn't mean you're rising the rank to the top in the first half. They still have to grind. Like, it applies everywhere.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's a huge point.
What I said may be misleading. It may, like, I don't know who's going to watch this, but maybe someone's like, oh, let me just go on OnlyFans now and like show my feet.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, you actually
even
in that regard, you still have to put in the work.
Like, you might go viral once, there are also a lot of pages out there, like Vine was a great example of this, that people would get famous from virals. But if you look at all the viral videos that went viral, most of those accounts went stagnant because they never could create the content to feed the masses after the viral video.
They're just a flavor of the month.
Yeah.
They're just a one-time
flare up,
Yeah.
So it's a grind everywhere, man. Like, you have to freaking grind no matter what. And whatever industry and whatever the case is, like, you know how much Tylenol you probably had to snort before making a spreadsheet for your jobs and ranking those and S tier down to...
I spent an ungodly amount of time on them, honestly. Like, and the thing too is, like, I shot at like 100 companies.
Yeah, like, you didn't...
Like, and these were all like great companies, and I landed one. Like,
it didn't happen by accident.
The level of talent out there in our field, especially as you move up in tech sales and account executive, your mid-market enterprise, like, people just get better and better and better. And like, I mean, you have to really be solid.
Yeah. People don't make varsity because they are just naturally gifted. Like, they make varsity because they're naturally gifted at work.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, in your work ethic, you need to stand out. You need to do what you say you're going to do. You need to volunteer and do things that are a little above like what your normal responsibilities are, because that's going to get you noticed. Mm-hmm. You need to engage in whatever form it is at your organization or wherever you're trying to get into. So whether that's like online chats or whether that's, in person team meet, like, you need to engage. Like, that's how you're going to stand out. And you need to take the time to go talk to someone from a different team or go talk to the higher up. Just be like, hey, my name's Izzy. I've been here X amount of time. I know you do this. I just love to introduce myself and get to know you. Yeah. And just be proactive about building the relationship. Yeah. Like, you would be surprised how far that will get you. And people are like, oh, wow, like, this Noah just wants to get to know me. Like, he just wants to know where I'm from, what I enjoy doing, how many kids I have, like XYZ, whatever. Eventually you'll get to, what you want to vocalize that you want to do in said industry or field, but just being proactive about building that key relationships will help you stand out.
That's so huge.
My current job, the way I got it was a recruiter reached out to me, but he actually, before he even talked to me, he had reached out to some of my previous coworkers at my old company to ask what I was like. So you really need to be who you say you are and do all those things. Oh. Because you can talk to someone and talk this big game, but once they fact check you, if it's just a house of cards, it's not going to get you anywhere.
Yeah, that's crazy. That recruiter did his research.
No, he was solid. He was great. I was like, dang, that's the first time it's ever happened.
That's wild. Yeah. It's like the company's checking your previous employment history. It's like, you've never heard that. Never happens anymore. Yeah. Like, that's funny that recruiters are starting to do that again.
Well, this was he didn't work for the company. He was like a third party recruiter. Yeah. So again, I think for him, it's his reputation, right? He only wants to submit top tier candidates. Yeah. So, I mean, if again, all of this goes into landing good careers, good jobs, and really getting ahead in life, honestly.
Yeah. And the whole networking aspect in your own company is huge too, because the thing that I think most people don't really put a lens on is most of the time they're not in management roles. They're not in like high revenue impact roles that they are able to think this way. But if you were to be VP for a day, like just for a day, and think about what that dude has to think about or that girl has to think about, like, one of the number one things that they're constantly battling is is retention of good reps. And this could be in any world. This could be in marketing, operations, sales, whatever. And when people leave, inevitably it's going to happen, especially if they're great talent. They're going to get poached from other companies. They're going to get fired. They're going to quit, whatever the case. Like, something could happen in life where there is now an open position. Are you the top 5 person that comes to that VP's mind?
Yep.
And the only way you could get there is through performance. That's number one. But not only is that can't always be the case, because performance is gonna, there's so many variables to go into it, you know? But the second biggest way you're going to do this is through them knowing your name.
Totally. Yeah. Them knowing your name, who you are, how you go about your business. Like, I'm not in a VP role, but I would have to imagine your impact on team morale, your attitude is probably a considerable factor.
Yeah. Do you respond to my Slack messages in the team chat?
Well, I mean, like, I don't know if you've been in these situations, but I've worked with, team members where they're just like constantly complain, and it's just like, I get it. Every job, no job is perfect. No situation is perfect.
Yeah.
But you got to weigh out, like, are there more pros and cons here? If there are, then like, why am I crying over this spilt milk?
Right.
At the end of the day, do you enjoy what you do? Do you enjoy who you do it with? Do you enjoy your manager? Like, if those boxes check off, you feel good about, the product you're selling or the people you're helping out with whatever your role is, then you got a pretty good situation, right?
Yeah.
Granted, you're getting compensated accordingly. Everything else is just like, it's just lost effort.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But again, that's why I say if I was VP for a day, I think that would be a considerable factor for me.
Yeah.
In like
that's huge.
Who I'd want to put into a role. Because again, like the flip side is someone who is not sipping the Kool-Aid per se, but like they just generally have a good outlook and mindset, and having that on the team, having that spread is going to like, increase the performance potentially of everyone around them.
Yeah.
So
it's a massive point too, because it's like, if you think about a VP again, like they're having to manage this team of whoever that is made up of.
A massive team.
Yeah. It could be huge, it could be small, hundreds, whatever the case.
Yeah.
And what's on their plate, if one of those items on their plate is having to train people and have to work with people, which is something they don't want to do at all, but someone's on their team that's an asset to them that can step in and help them because they have the good morale, they have that good attitude, that's tremendous, because it takes all that pressure off of like, hey, this new person just threw inside of this like team Slack channel that they have this problem or issue or whatever, and this person jumps in. It's like just a really good rep that knows what they're doing, and they help that person. That takes that off that VP's plate. They're going to love that person.
Yeah, be easy to work with.
Yeah, which that's so funny you bring that up, because I think some people don't even think about it because they live in this me world, blinders on, and they're just like, they're the type of people that will stop in the middle of an aisle of an airplane and take like 45 minutes to put their carry-on up there. And like, it's like, you're not thinking about anyone other than yourself. And like, it's so prevalent in sales too, where it's like, you never see them chat up inside of any type of team call or team interaction. Yeah. They never join anything. They never talk about certain things. Like, they're not like trying to support anybody, like it's like that person probably could make 6 figures, especially if they're really good at selling or something like that, but they'll probably never make more than that. They're not going to hit the $250,000 club because of it.
Yeah.
It's like,
exactly.
It's not happening, you know,
especially depending the role and what you sell is like at a certain point, the bigger the deals get, the more important team selling is. And like, if you have good rapport with people, they're going to be more inclined to maybe do what you need a little more urgently, right? Than if they aren't your biggest fan, they're just like, oh, I'll do that in like 2 days. Then it's like, and you're the one trying to get the contract or trying to close a deal. And it's like, you want people on your side who want to see you succeed because you're a joy to be with, you're a joy to work with. So as you go up, it just becomes more and more important.
Yeah. It's not nothing's worse than pissing off the finance guy that you're trying to get a contract out.
Legal, finance. I've been on the wrong end of that.
He doesn't like you, and he's like, hey, whatever the heck you're trying to do, I know it's the 31st and you're trying to hit this number, but I'm going to get to this Monday.
Yeah.
Because I don't like Izzy.
Oh, dude.
It's a rough time.
That's when the tear comes out.
So I know you're on your path to buying out a business, or acquiring a business, or starting your own business, whatnot. Like, what's the ideal business that you're trying to start? What's that S tier model that you're going after?
Yeah. You know what I've been doing lately is going to more networking events to just get exposure to different sorts of businesses. Mm-hmm. Any sort of service business I think would be great here in Arizona. Anything with like beauty and like med spas do great. Salons, things like that. Like a pool business does great. Like you don't need that many employees. They have a route. They just take care of it. You can set up a lot of automation. Mm-hmm. Things like that. I'm not dead set on a specific business. It's more about finding a business that is undervalued, where I can then add value to it, and then because it's similar to real estate, except the nice part is when you buy it, if you buy right, it's already going to cash flow from day one.
Yeah.
Then you put in value into the organization, which would mean like updating it from 1990s to like modernize automation, technology, more competent people, employees, whatever it is. Then that should, in theory, increase the performance of the business. It means more cash flow. Yeah. And if you choose to exit, down the line, then the value of the business is a lot higher.
Right.
So for me, it's not the type of business per se that I'm stuck on. I just want to find an undervalued business where I can increase the value. Yeah, that's what's key for me. But what I've learned too through going to these networking events and with other people who own businesses is I probably need to find the right partner, because what I would probably come in and be is I would probably come in with the funds, and I would probably be able to help like modernize some of the technology, but I'm going to need an industry expert. So what I mean by that is like, if I want to open up I was just talking to someone who does like kind of like a beauty school.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, I make a ton of money. Like I don't scale because I'm happy with the money I make. And like, it's pretty lean and I live a great life. She's like, but I could. So I would need like the other person who knows the expertise in that field. Yeah. So I can come in, do the funds, modernize the business, but I would need someone who actually knows like the actual, or, if it was a plumbing business, like I would have to partner with a plumber who can then vet out whatever employees we get, right? Do they actually know what they're doing?
Right.
All of that good stuff. That's going to be the key for me, is finding the right partner and obviously the right business, which easier said than done. Those are really hard to do.
But at the end of the day, it's like, there's no more gold mine than going to some business that's been established for 20, 30 years. Like you said, it's stuck in the 90s, and that business owner has figured out a way to revenue every single year for the last 20 years, hasn't gone under, and is ready to get out. Like it's funny you talk about this business, buying up old businesses, because it's like, I think it's starting to become a little bit of a trend, because like a lot of this older generation has owned these dry cleaning businesses that are on every corner of every street that we see every single day, that have clients that go to it every single week, and they're not even on Google Maps.
Exactly.
Like the fact that they even have business is wild. So it's like, if you get in there and you buy that up, you could transform that business like within a matter of months by doing slightly more modernized things to it.
Yeah. You literally just put lipstick on a pig, and obviously you want to upgrade it more than that, but
just
that
small
initial
little
month, 2 month, you can do some small things and really upgrade the business for sure.
Yeah. Just modernizing it, helping with the SEO, getting it to like actually have a website that's functional.
Exactly. Or it's what's it now? It's not SEO. It's like optimizing for like ChatGPT searches. I forget. AEO.
Yeah. AEO. Yeah. That's because the SEO isn't really the thing anymore because of the AI summary pages.
Did you notice, like, do you use Google less now. I was just thinking about this the other day, and I was just like, I use Google so much less. Like, I just ask chat.
Bro, you're asking the wrong guy, dude. I live so far in the dark ages.
I know, you pulled up in your Flintstones car.
Why do you think my feet are black, bro? I run everywhere.
You got that Mr. Deeds foot?
No. I did adopt Grok for a while because I don't like ChatGPT. But what I came to find out is actually, which is really, really wild, because I listened to this from the psychologist. It's super controversial right now because everybody's ChatGPT and Grok. But do you know where the word narcissist came from? Or not? I'm pretty sure narcissist, or like, I'm trying to redraw back what she was talking about. But she was basically the story of this like old time like fairy tale where this guy like kept looking into like this lake and like was so impressed with himself and like loved himself so much. And then like eventually at one point he like leaned in to kiss himself, fell in, and then drowned. Super funny story.
That's crazy.
But it's like an old wives' tale type of story, you know, like a Thor type of story, something you talk about at a campfire. And she was explaining how Grok and ChatGPT and DeepSeek and all these other companies, well, I know DeepSeek obviously fell off, but all these other companies are programmed to create this algorithm that is just a yes man, basically. Oh yeah. Where it just constantly just tells you, yes, you're right. Yes, you're correct. Yes, you're right. And like everything is poised around this idea of just getting you so bought into using it that it's no longer like, you're no longer self-sufficient for thinking. You start to believe that you are always right because ChatGPT or Grok is always like confirming and affirming that everything that you think and say and writing down is correct, whatever. So, I mean, a little conspiracy theory within that, but
I think there's a lot of truth to the danger of ChatGPT being dependence, and you lose your creativity. You know, you lose your like. Now you just become lazy. You're just like, oh, let me just have it do it for me. Yeah, you know, which is like, then you don't cut through the noise because you sound like just like everyone. Your business is just like everyone now because you just asked it just like everyone else did. How do I improve this business, or what's the basic, you know? You're just doing what everyone else did. The name of the game is to differentiate. But I think there's a lot of truth to that being a danger. With ChatGPT, and being a yes man and all that. So you got to be a person of good character. A person who's, you know, humble and can keep your feet on the ground. Because otherwise, it's easy to be like, oh, I know everything. So.
And if you always have that information at your fingertips and it's always like agreeing with you, it's like, it can be super dangerous. So. And like,
who's to say that it's, you know, the sources are accurate. So
and it's literally designed to make it seem like it is accurate.
So you got to be careful with it. You got to build a skill in having the right prompt to ensure accuracy, or like checking even the answers it gives you. Like, you know, it's easy to say things in the context of email, like write this email to this person, but then you need to take it a step further and be like, hey, is this framed in a way where it's what's in it for them and not what's in it for me?
Right.
You know, so you kind of got to be really good at leveraging the tool to make it effective. Otherwise you run the risk of becoming dependent, or, you know, believing you think of everything, or just, you know, all the dangers and risks of using it in the wrong way.
Plus too, it's like what we talked about earlier about finding a job. It's like, if you're trying to make 6 figures and your goal is to be a cut above, to separate yourself from everyone else, why would you use something that does the exact opposite of that? In fact, it just blends you in so much more than anything else. It's like the AI emailing these days. I can't stand it, dude, because I can smell AI from 4 miles away.
The dash?
Yeah, the dash is, that's one of them. Another one that is like the spacing too. That one's super AI focused, you know, like the way that they'll do it and write certain things. But it's ultimately just like, you can just smell a robot, you know, like the clanker, you know, the slang for robots. You heard that one before?
No, it's something I'm going to use now, though. If I see someone who's dependent. Like,
it's a clanker. Yeah, it's people that love robots, No, it's like...
going to knock on their head. Anyone home?
No, it's like, it's... I don't know, like, I think you being a salesperson or marketer or whatever, not using AI is going to show, is your ultimate power move right now, because everybody's trying to use it. Everybody wants AI to replace everything, and they want everything to be quick. They want everything to be fast. They don't want to do anything. Like I read a post the other day where it was like, why is AI doing all these like non-beneficial things? Like, you know, make this whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's like, why can't it do my taxes for me? And I'm like, do you really want AI to just do your taxes? You don't even want to know where your money's going, you know? Like, you don't even want to look at your statements. You don't even want to look at your own receipts. You'd rather just AI scan that for you. Yeah, or the worst one is like the recruiters that will scan AI or all of their resumes with AI. Just look out for these keywords and stuff. And I'm like you were talking about, like, if that's literally what recruiters are resorting to right now, because they have so many applications, they have an AI bot scan every resume that comes in, and they just choose the top 2 or whatever. And then they usually don't even call those people because they're not even qualified, and AI messed up. It's like, you have to do something so unique and so different that you are standing so far above that crowd that they can't even recognize that you're even a part of the whole other group. Yeah.
Yeah. You got to be creative for sure.
Yeah, the creative process is massive. So, and that's honestly what bleeds into all business ownership, you know, like you're talking about is like if you were to buy out this old business and there's all these like requirements to make that business more modernized, like you can get creative with that in the beginning and probably change a few things. But if you get, like we talk about this all the time with our companies, like stop spending 2 weeks designing a logo. Like it doesn't matter. That's not creative. Like you're just doing non-revenuing activity.
You're overthinking at that point. Yeah. It's like, just go out and do it. Yeah. Because otherwise you're you could have deployed like 3-4 different things. Sure, you probably made a mistake or two, but like chances are the other 2 things are going to be successful or are going to go good, versus like spending all that time overthinking on one thing just to find out like, oh, it's whatevs. It's like, so.
Yeah. Like, or you just spend so much energy doing something that would never generate revenue.
Yeah.
Because it's like, if you're trying to own a business or if you're trying to be a 6-figure earner, you shouldn't be doing non-revenue.
You got to focus on what's important.
Yeah. And I think that's another reason why AI is so dangerous, because you could so like in the sales space, like there's all these AI tools that are like account-based
marketing.
Marketing and like just account strategies and stuff like that. And they spend so much time creating an account plan strategy.
And they don't even execute.
And they never talk to the prospect.
They never execute.
Yeah, it's like you're not even talking to these people about the strategy that AI built for you. Or if you do, it's completely irrelevant because it's just speculating.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, because of this industry, because of the size of the company, because of this role and title, you're probably experiencing X, Y, and Z. It's like, it's just going off of prehistoric data that you're not even feeding it the correct data because there's no data to even give it in the first place because you never had a freaking conversation.
Yeah.
So it doesn't even matter.
Yeah. You got to strike a balance between analyzing and prepping, planning, and taking action. Mm-hmm. It's probably best to caution on or be more on the side of taking action.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I say that because that's probably something I need to focus on more, is taking more action. I tend to overthink, but you got to focus on what's important, whatever you're doing. Like, what is going to move the needle the most? Everything else is just noise.
Yep.
Yeah. I think a good way to think about it is what's important and urgent, what's important and not urgent, and everything else you can kind of disregard or delegate.
Yep.
Like if it's not important, not urgent, then no need for you to worry about it. If it's urgent, not important, you can delegate it, to someone else, or honestly just leave it there and see if you really need to come back to it.
Right. Yeah. But there's a lot of things that, especially in business, where you're like, oh my God, I have to do this.
Yeah.
And if it's not that urgent, but you think that it is, and then you come back a couple of weeks later, you're like, I don't even have to do that.
Yeah.
It's not even purposeful anymore.
Yeah.
It seems so real in the moment, but it's not anymore. So.
Yeah. You got to have a good team to hold you accountable too.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to fall off track on anything, task, whatever.
Yeah.
Unless you got someone to remind you, like, hey, this is the most important thing that we have to do for our podcast today, for me as a salesperson, for me as an Airbnb owner, whatever it is.
Yeah. So last question here is, I think most people, again, won't find themselves accidentally doubling their income from 50K to 100K, but they will, if they're intentional, start to adjust their income from 50K to 100K. And you've gone through that personally, like what's your biggest recommendation while going through that phase of life where it's like you're actually starting to create more income for yourself? Because I think most people's natural inclination is, I make more money, I'm now going to increase my standard of living because of it. Like, what's your things to avoid in that as these people start to go down that journey?
Man, I think the number one thing I can advise, and I would say I'm a regular person that's followed a plan, that's been disciplined, and that's made the most of my situation, is just think long term. Is like, my goal is not to just to get like one house and like then be set. My house, like I originally wanted 5, so I was like, okay, what is my plan to get 5, or what is like my long term plan? And if you can keep that in mind, it's gonna help you adhere to that. Because if you get one, or you increase your income, you get a better job, and you think short term, you're like, great, now I can, upgrade 10 things. You're never going to get to your long-term goal. So you just have to keep that top of mind, keep things simple, focus on what's important, and you'll make it happen. So, and that, I mean, those are principles that I follow today.
Yeah.
So for that business I want to buy, whatever business it ends up being, like, I have a plan right now. I'm saving X amount. I'm going to these networking events, trying to meet potential partners, learning about different businesses. And I know once I have the right capital, then I can, I'll make it happen. And once I find the right partner. So yeah, it doesn't have to be complicated.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Where you learn all your leadership from? You have a specific source?
I do. It's called Franklin Covey. They're great. You should check them out.
Shameless plug. No, for real though, like, do you have a book recommendation or podcast, anything that you usually go to?
So, there was one, these are the books that early in my life I think helped me out a lot. One was called Set for Life. It was based off I think the author works for Bigger Pockets. Bigger Pockets is like a community. They have podcasts, they have businesses like in the real estate space, or they started off in the real estate space. And that book helped me a lot. A lot of what I talked about today is just like being focused, making a plan, house hacking, like all of that foundational stuff came from that book, Set for Life. Mm-hmm. What is another good one that I've read? I mean, that was the main one that comes to mind.
Set for Life. Who'd you say that author was?
I don't remember. But I'm sure if you go to biggerpockets.com, they'll have that exact book on there. I'm sure if you Google it, it'll come up. Or Chat GPT.
You're not supposed to use Chat GPT, remember?
But yeah, that's a good book. What else do I typically do?
I don't know. You mentioned social media earlier. Like, did you use a lot of social media to kind of either gain interest or gain some sort of, because there's probably not a lot of hacks you can probably pull from that, or is there from social media?
Honestly, you think it's productive, but it's not. Like, I used to be in the mindset of Scott Trench is the author of Set for Life. Yeah,
there
great book. Honestly, I recommend it.
Thanks for pulling that up, Jimmy.
Yeah. But you think it's productive, but it's really not. Like, at first I was like, oh, I'm looking at all these memes and it's, it's entertaining. And then I was like, oh, let me make it more productive. So let me follow these finance and all these other pages. And you think it's productive, but are you retaining any of it? Not really. Because you're just absorbing. You're not practicing applying. That's where the real magic is.
Yeah.
There was one other resource that came to mind. There is one Instagram page that I took. It was called Personal Finance Club. And this guy, who runs the page, he built a business. He sold it at 34. He retired early. And it's the most logical, like, best for normal people course. It's not like a reoccurring thing. It's just like a one-time thing. And it's super, I think it's like $50 one time. And it honestly, for anyone who has no idea, like 401k, like basic principles, it is phenomenal. Like, he's so good at the basics.
This guy right here?
He doesn't claim to be a guru, like none of that stuff.
Dude, he reminds me of a Budget Dog.
He's in that same lane. He's in that same lane. Like,
you heard of Budget Dog?
Yeah. They're not like, His company Hello Nectarine too is really cool because it's they provide a financial like financial advisors, but just like one-time fee. So they're not like trying to manage your money and like making a percentage off of it. They're just like, what's your situation and here's the best stuff. But
yeah,
anyhow, yeah,
this guy right here,
Set for Life, and then Personal Finance Club. Those are one book I read that really impacted me. I took that course when I was in college, and I was like, okay, I get benefits and 401k. Like, what the hell is all this? And that helped me like tremendously.
Yeah,
so,
that's good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, let's wrap.
Let's do it.
That was good.